Well, Ross, congratulations. Thanks for joining us. That was a big performance and a massive win.
Yeah, I think, first of all, massive win. And I thought first half. I mean, what I would say is that the Morecambe paid us huge respect in terms of the way they set up in the first half, but felt we really controlled the game. There wasn't a lot of space in terms of creating out-and-out chances. I think we thought we had a few snapshots from the edge of the box, but we were obviously in real control of the game. So obviously then second half they sort of come out a little bit more, and if I'm brutally honest, I think they probably had the most clearest chances until we scored in the game. But I think overall we deserve to win the game, and I'm really pleased for the boys that we've done that and kept a clean sheet.
It was Leanne Gold stepping in place of the injured leading marksman Dan Johnson that secured the maximum points.
Yeah, Lee's probably. I would be frustrated if I was Leanne Gold in terms of the start to the season for him was very, very good. His pre-season was excellent. I thought he looked a real threat. And then Dan scores the goals that he scores, and then Lee finds himself injured and slightly out of position at times, and he's done a very good job for us and shown real discipline for me without it being all starry for him right now. So I was delighted that he gets his chance down the middle, despite the fact that we do that at the expense of losing our top goal scorer. But so when you do that and that happens, I'm extremely happy for Lee that he contributes with a goal today.
Tunji Akinola's cross was quality. It caused all sorts of problems. It forced an own goal.
Well, our dominance in the game meant that, especially in the first half, we got Dan Appy, probably more than Tunji, but we got Dan Appy into real advanced positions. There was some times when he was 20, 25 yards from goal. It was very similar to how I saw Morecambe play against Chelsea. So that was huge respect that they played us in terms of the way that we can get control on the game. So then for Tunj to really think on his feet and get himself into that wide area, I think Sam was trying to utilise the gap in the advertising boards to put a long throw in. He was moved back down into the position, and Tunj used his initiative to go and get on the ball and put a great cross in. So absolutely delighted.
As you say, Orient had most of the possession, but it was Lawrence Vigouroux that produced most of the saves, and one just before half-time was an important one to deny Gomez.
Massively, yeah, and like I think I just said to you there, really, it's about us having that concentration. You're never going to be squeaky clean and never give up an opportunity. People are going to have a lapse in concentration. We don't want that, and it's about trying to maintain all the way through the game in order to be ruthless and put a team to the sword. But the opposition are going to have a moment, they're going to have a set piece, a threat, and that's why we have a goalkeeper as good as Lawrence in the goal to make sure that we keep a clean sheet.
Saw Dan Walker come in the half. Comedy gold was comedy gold. We saw the youngster Dan Kemp coming on in the second half.
Yeah, delighted. He's a player that I've known about for a very long time. I through my academy work, etc., I've seen Dan play from a 9-10-year-old at Chelsea, and then obviously followed his career because he's such a talented boy. So really delighted that we've got him, and it was great to get him on today. I think he looked a threat, he looked bright, and outside of that you can't expect much more in terms of his first contribution, but it's good to get him in, good to get him amongst the boys, and good to get him some minutes on the pitch in an Orient kit.
Will there be other players joining him?
I would very much expect so. We're working on a couple. I think people will probably know some of the areas that we want to strengthen, but I think if we can do that within the constraints or the limitations that are put in place because of the salary capping both now and in the future, we'd love to be able to do that. So we've been working this week. We were very close to extending the amount of players that we'd signed, and hopefully if we can do things well this week, we might see one, maybe two new faces.
Just before half-time, there seemed to be some sort of confusion between you and Derek Adams, the Morecambe manager.
Yeah, Dave, I sat upstairs today because I've watched the last 3 games from my living room. So it's worked for us, certainly in the last 2. So I felt that sitting up there today, the staff are in control of things. There's not a crowd here. I don't feel as though I necessarily need to have a presence on the sideline. My plan was to come down and watch it in the second half. I came down at half-time and there was some confusion about the pathway that I'd taken to get down here, and the opposition's manager took offence to it. I thought he overreacted, didn't think that it was really, really needed, and he made quite a big deal of it. I respect it, it's totally understandable, but I'm not rummaging for anybody's pockets. I've worked at this club for a long time, and I would have a route down. I made a mistake and I held my hands up immediately. And rather than accepting that, he tried to take that further. So it wasn't any more than that. I know there was potential ideas that had been sent off. I can guarantee everyone I'm over those.
Finally for me, Ross, home performances, home results in the league have been very impressive. It's going to be tough on Saturday, rearranged against Forest Green.
Yeah, I think two things, Dave. I hope you don't mind me me mentioning at the end about the contribution from people today. But yeah, incredibly so. It's going to be tough, all the time now. I think today, coming up against a team in and around us in the league, the respect that they've shown us in terms of the way they set up to stop us playing, it shows us how tough it's going to be. Forest Green, I think, will pose a completely different threat because I think their natural thing is to attack and try to create opportunities. So, bit of cat and mouse, but I think we've got every opportunity to contribute to winning that game. I think we've gone there and won, obviously, in the cup. I thought we was very unfortunate not to come away with something when we went up there, went over there to in the league game, and obviously we got beat. So there needs to be a focus this week because excellent that we've won 3 games on the spin, great that we've kept clean sheets, but we need to make sure that we stay on it now because we've got ourselves in a good position. We need to keep building. And just on top of that, I think an incredible effort today by everybody at this club. When I came here this morning at 9:15 or whatever it was, the sheets were covering the club. It was covered in water, the pitch. It was covered in water. There was minimal people here, but that minimal contribution, I'd love to be able to mention all of those names. My staff were here. We were wandering around, soaked through. But the ground staff, the stewards, the people that were able to be here, that had been tested, have done an unbelievable effort to get today on. And I think there's probably never been, certainly in my time here, a day where everybody at this club has contributed to a win. So I'd like to thank everybody on that behalf.